Hello friends, Joe from Joe K Models here. Okay, so we're going to be wrapping this series up with this last video. Right now I'm working on some last bits and pieces, including some weathering. I'm using a pastel dusting technique here to add some more weathering on the wing root and other various areas. And this is as good of time as any to spray my tester's dull coat over the model, so I go ahead and do that. And now I'm just adding some of those last bits and pieces to the actual model. And now I'm just adding those last little bits of weathering here. This is a splattering technique. And then using a chipping pencil, I'm just going over the various parts of the airplane that I feel would have experienced some chipping and just giving it a little bit more of a weathered effect. And this is something that's easy to go overboard on, so I try to just kind of do it in light amounts and then step back, look at it, assess, and then go from there. Along these wing routes, I felt that this is a place that should be heavily chipped and weathered because of all of the traffic. They did seem to take really good care of these airplanes during the war, but again, this was the Battle of Britain, so I feel that these planes would have been up and down and taking some more than usual weathering, so I wanted to strike that balance and show that with the model. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the way that it turned out. And here I'm finally removing those masks, and I did have a little bit of cleanup to do on some of the different pieces, and I just took a toothpick and dampened it a little, and that shouldn't scratch the clear parts, so that's how I clean those up. And here I'm weathering the propeller with an old brush that I've purposely mangled for this very purpose. And then after doing that weathering, I just spray it with some semi-gloss. And good to go. And here's that hatchway, doorway on the side. And then I paint these exhausts with dark iron color. And one of the things that I thought could be a little bit better was I just drilled some quick holes into the exhausts and just kind of touched that up a little bit. I thought that made it look a little bit better. And then I just used a metallic red-brown color here just to dry brush over the exhaust. I looked at a couple different pictures and I saw some that looked like that, so that's what I decided to go with. And then I just pushed these in. I didn't even really add any glue to it because it was such a good fit. And then there's the propeller, so touch of glue on that. And then the final little bit here on the wing, I glued that on and I primed it black, and then I'm just doing the final sky painting on that. And then here we are with the rigging. And if anybody has a careful eye, they might notice on top of the tail that that one piece is no longer the original. I think I lost that when I've been moving and such, so I actually scratch built that on there. So I was a little bit nervous about this part that it might break that off, but it turned out to be pretty stable. One of the things that was also interesting was in the directions, it also had more rigging on the sides of the airplane as well. And just watching some different documentaries, I didn't notice many of the planes really had that, so I turned to a Facebook group and asked, hey, did this particular plane even have these riggings? And the consensus seemed to be that they didn't, so I left that off. And there you have it, the final model that only took 3 years to build. So thank you so much for watching, This is Joe from Joe K Models.